Hello there, you're welcome to the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations, diplomatic affairs. My name is Harriet Nati. The show comes off every Saturday on Pan-African television between the hours of 4 to 5 o'clock p.m. We are also global via social media, which is Facebook and YouTube, and we are in some parts of Europe as well. And also in over 40 African countries, bringing you diplomacy, international relations, and engagements between countries at the bi and multilateral levels. Today on the show, we have put together stories that are trending in the world of diplomacy, and we will be sharing all those stories with you. Let me begin on the note of our interview with the ambassador of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Yes, he was in Ghana, and we caught up with him to talk about bilateral relations between Ghana and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The relationship between Ghana and the Bahamas has recently experienced a friendlier trend. Both nations sharing mutual interests rooted in common history, culture, and identity, pursuing policies that advocate for climate tax and reparatory justice. These efforts contribute to a reimagined global community based on interdependence and justice. To delve into the depth of the partnerships and explore prospects for mutual betterment, I sat with His Excellency Andrew Wilson, Ambassador of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to Ghana. So today is another day, and we will be talking about the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and the Republic of Ghana. Bilateral relations or diplomatic ties between these two countries have soared recently, and they are quite ambitious when it comes to exploring opportunities and creating a lot of avenues for both countries and their people. And I'm having with me the High Commissioner of the Bahamas, and he is in the person of His Excellency Andrew Wilson. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Welcome to Ghana.
Thank you. It's
home.
It's my second home. I always enjoy the opportunity of coming back home.
When we talk about the Bahamas and when we talk about Ghana, the people, we see these two countries are far apart from each other. But recently, we realized that relations between our two countries and then at the people-to-people level has been taken a notch further. And so this is like bringing the people together and looking at avenues to create opportunities for the two countries. And that excites me a lot.
The ties between the Bahamas and Ghana runs deep. I often say that 400 years ago, my ancestors went through the gate of no return. But the devil is a liar, because we're coming back. And we're coming back in the millions. We're coming back in the thousands. And we are bringing the skills and resources that we have acquired in the diaspora to make a contribution towards the development of our motherland.
You took part in the reparation conference. What do you make of it?
Well, in a nutshell, a debt is owed. The colonizing powers have a legal and moral obligation to repair the damages caused by the transatlantic slave trade. When we look at the condition that many of our people find ourselves in today, that our children find themselves in, it is as a result of being disadvantaged and the offsprings of our enslavers being advantaged as a result of the slave trade. They took our labor, they took our resources, and built a new world to our exclusion. And so a debt is owed, and the debt must be paid.
This is what African leaders are pushing for, reparation. Once a conversation came up and I asked, exactly what are we asking for? Are we asking for money? Can we really quantify?
Well, there are experts that are able to quantify those numbers. It has been done before. I think it was the Jackson Report, commissioned by President Truman in the aftermath of the Holocaust that we constantly hear so much about. Sadly, we don't hear much about the African Holocaust. But as a result of that Jackson Report, reparations was paid to the victims of the Holocaust. And our Holocaust, I submit, was 100-fold greater than that of the more recent Holocaust that we hear about. So that might be a starting point, but I have no doubt that we have the persons, the individuals with the skills and the education required to quantify the damage that was done, and that is a beginning position.
Excellency, let's move away from the reparation, which has sort of like set the tone for our conversation today. Let's talk about the Bahamas and Ghana relations. Where are we?
The Bahamas and Ghana, our ties run deep. As I indicated. It started hundreds of years ago, and now we're reconnecting, and we are one people. When I am in Ghana, I always recall the first time I came to Ghana in 2007, at the 50th anniversary of Ghana's independence. As I stepped out of the airport, there was a lady sitting down, and I opened my mouth to ask if she was on the plane too, because I see the same people that I see in Ghana that I see in this room in the Bahamas every day. Every time I'm in Ghana, someone mistakes me for someone that they went to high school with, or someone that they know. So you all have, well, the Bahamas is much smaller than Ghana in terms of population.
What's the number?
But 400,000 people. But I say to my people in the Bahamas, we all have twins here in Ghana, and indeed we do. So the ties run deep. We are the same people. We are the same people, separated by the ocean, coming back together to build a stronger tomorrow for our children.
To build a stronger tomorrow for our children. In building a stronger tomorrow for our children, exactly what are we looking for from this friendship?
All right, so building a stronger tomorrow for our children. Well, I'll tell you some of the benefits. Let me start with one specific benefit that has accrued to the Bahamas, in that in the aftermath of the pandemic, we found our health sector being challenged due to a shortage of nurses. When I return to the Bahamas in 2 days, tomorrow, I will be accompanied by 18 nurses from Ghana that will be working in the Bahamas in the coming years. I see it, and the nurses that will be accompanying me see it as a win-win situation. So whenever we as a family are able to work together to solve problems within the family, that strengthens the whole. We ought not to always be looking to those who formerly enslaved us for a solution to our problem, but find those solutions within the family. Ghana has the tourism sector in Ghana is very exciting. Ghana, several years ago, launched the Year of Return that has captured the imagination of the diaspora. Hundreds of thousands of persons came to Ghana, and I submit to you without a shadow of a doubt that millions are on the way. Tourism is one of the most vibrant industries in the world. It generates opportunities for persons from all levels of society. It has provided a very high standard of living for the population of the Bahamas, and it has the potential to do that for Ghana as well.
And that's a major contributor to your GDP.
Yeah, it is. It is to a great extent our GDP. This year we expect to welcome approximately 10 million visitors, up from 7 million before the pandemic. People are traveling. And what Ghana has to offer is that there I don't know the number exactly, but I'm sure in excess of 100 million persons who can trace their ancestry to this region, to West Africa, who are now beginning to throw away the propaganda of the Western media of Africa and seeing Africa in all its glory, in all its beauty, and yearning to return. I get that call from people every day. People are tracking me down. I want to go to Ghana. I want to go to Ghana. And I will be happy to report when I get back that it will be easier for Bahamians to come to Ghana and for Ghanaians to come to the Bahamas because there is no longer a visa requirement.
Right, I was just coming
We have eliminated the need for a visa for you to visit your brothers, sisters, and cousins.
Soon enough, you will be able to travel without visa requirements.
And the welcoming committee is waiting for you.
This is a very exciting news. So this is a very, very exciting news, and I'm sure the people of Ghana or the Ghanaian public would jump at this opportunity that has been created to enhance trade between our two countries. Let's also talk about the Africa-Caribbean Trade Mission, which has been established here in Accra.
Yes, the Afri-Bahamas Trade Mission is at MNJ Square, Shali Boatway. And it was the first project that I undertook after I was designated as High Commissioner to Ghana. And the aim of the Afri-Bahamas Trade Mission, in a nutshell, is to export poverty out of Africa. We have millions. I'm always excited by the large numbers of very talented young entrepreneurs that we have in Ghana. They're tech savvy and hungry for opportunities. And so we work with those persons. We work with the garment producers, the craft producers, the producers, the persons that process nuts and food, etc. And we have started on a very small scale exporting their products into the marketplace of the Bahamas.
And that is going very well?
It is developing. It is developing. It is going well, but it is developing. It's not going to be an overnight sensational hit. But I reflect that as a child, China was a poor country. Look at China today. Africa has everything that China has and more. And so there is no reason why, within my children's generation, that Africa should not surpass China.
That is possible. I believe so. That is very possible. Excellency, let's talk about this Twin City collaboration between the Bahamas and Ghana. Which cities
Princess Town in the northern region, there has been a sister city relationship that was established, I think it was earlier this year, between Nassau and Princess Town. I'll tell you how it came about actually. It's a very interesting story. One of our top scholars, a young man by the name of Christopher Davis, who happens to be the youngest son of our Prime Minister, he did a study on our premier festival called Junkanoo.
Junkanoo.
It's called Junkanoo. It's a carnival. It's a festival. It's alive. It's vibrant, and I see it here in Ghana. I see it in Ghana as well. And we knew that this festival traced itself back to West Africa, but we didn't know exactly where. And so he came to Ghana in 2022, and after his research directed him to Princess Town and a fort there, I think it's the Fredericksburg Fort or something of the other, and Jan Kwa. And so he comes to Ghana, hops into an Uber, and heads out to this fort. He arrives at 3 o'clock in the morning at outside the fort, as he has relayed the story to me. And he's surrounded by the members of the village, and who are you? And he tells them who he is and why he was here. Let's go, we're going to the chief. and he tells the story of how he came to be, and they recognize him as John Kwa II. And it has created quite a bit of excitement in the community there. Subsequent to that, his father became Prime Minister of the Bahamas. And he was, I don't know the expression, what the expression is, but he was crowned, installed.
Okay.
Installed. He was installed
as king.
John Kwa II in the Ahanta region of Ghana. Since then, our First Lady has visited. Our Prime Minister has visited Ghana on several occasions, and he loves Ghana.
Culturally, there's so much that binds us together.
Yes, there is so much. The sister city relationship we will be building on. I've only recently been had the opportunity of presenting my credentials to the president. And my Prime Minister has asked me as a priority for us to try and to attract investments and opportunities from the Bahamas to Ghana in general, but Ahanta and the western region of Ghana as more specifically.
Right, that's very interesting. I love the idea of twin cities collaborations in this particular area, so I think that's awesome. Recently, we've been seeing a lot of that, happening between countries. Now, let's talk about this visa waiver policy agreements between the Bahamas and the Republic of Ghana. The MOU was just signed between the two countries. And tell me, we haven't ratified that yet, right? It's going to go through a series of processes before
it's completed.
Right? It's done.
We just need, it's only a matter of advising the airlines so that you can get on the flight.
And talking about airlines, I heard the Deputy Minister, Honorable Amprechum, also talked about the need to push for a common airline.
Oh yes, there is certainly in terms of building this bridge between our people. One of our goals is to establish a direct air transportation between Ghana, the gateway to Africa, with Nassau, Bahamas, the gateway to the diaspora. that's going to involve multiple discussions with many different players. So it's not something that's going to happen overnight, but certainly there are some interesting developments that's happening on the continent of Africa.
Right.
With the creation of a Pan-African airline through the merger of several large airlines here on the continent, that provides hope that it will happen sooner rather than later.
Sooner rather than later. What does the future look like? I know there's a lot happening right now and we are so excited about it, but what does the future look like? We are walking the talk.
The future is bright. The future is immensely bright for this coming together of the African family, combining the prospects for easier traveling with the African Free Trade Continental Agreement, where we are able to move our products from the continent to be distributed hopefully by Africans in the diaspora to the wider world. The future is bright.
The future indeed is bright.
Yes.
Excellency, Andrew Wilson, it's such a pleasure engaging you on this episode of the Diplomatic Affairs TV show. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
So the 5th UN Peacekeeping Ministerial Meeting took place right here in Accra. It was the first to have taken place on the African continent and Ghana, to be precise. This is great news for the African continent, and also when it comes to partnerships between the United Nations and its member states. So we were at Accra International Conference Center right here in Accra to capture all the discussions together with the side events that happened, and we have put the story just for your consumption. The recently concluded UN Peacekeeping Ministerial witnessed the United States of America, represented by Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield, announcing a $3 million contribution to support the Women's Body Armor Project. This groundbreaking initiative, supported by partners from Ghana, the Netherlands, and Zambia, aims to address the inadequate provision of personal protective equipment, which is PPE, for women peacekeepers. The project seeks to enhance their ability to actively participate in peacekeeping missions. Join us as we take you to the Accra International Conference Center and bring you all that took place at the event.
In the late 1980s, and up until that point, there were only 20 women who had ever served as uniform UN peacekeepers. 20. Not 20 in Africa, not 20 a year. 20 women all across the world over 3 decades of UN peacekeeping. 20 women. And thankfully, these numbers have begun to change. In 2023, there's some 4,800 women served as military peacekeepers, and there'll be 12,000 informed police units. And we've seen the impact that that diversity has had. And I will share with you, when I served as the ambassador to Liberia, there was nothing more amazing than seeing the Indian Formed Police Women's Unit providing security for the president of Liberia, who happened to be a woman. extraordinarily respected. They were no nonsense, and they got the job done. But they also dealt with many issues that, unfortunately, many times you men don't know how to deal with. So we really do need to have women peacekeepers in the field. We know that women peacekeepers are more approachable to women and girls, and especially survivors of gender-based violence. They help ensure that peacekeeping missions are effectively communicating with communities they serve. They offer valuable perspectives on conflict, reconciliation, and peace building. And they serve as powerful role models for the next generation of peacekeepers, inspiring women and girls to imagine a future after conflict ends. But let's not overstate progress. Women peacekeepers are still woefully underrepresented in the communities that need them. One major barrier for entry, the quote-unquote unisex personal protective equipment that simply doesn't fit women peacekeepers. And that is why we are thrilled to commit $3 million to a joint partnership with the Netherlands to help Ghana and Zambia pilot women-specific body armor in peacekeeping. The United States is grateful for this partnership and for Ghana and Zambia's consistent leadership in providing women peacekeepers with not only the armor, but the training, infrastructure, and support they need. Friends, an investment in this armor is an investment in women, and in turn, an investment in entire communities. It's long past time that we empower and protect these peacekeepers as they dedicate their lives to empowering and protecting civilians in conflict.
You're welcome to the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations. My name is Harriet Nati, and this is Diplomatic Affairs. We are coming to you from the Burma Camp Sports Complex, and it's all about the Diplomatic Corps Fun Day. Of course, this is being organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. The objective of this event is to promote unity in friendship. That is the theme for today's activity. And so we've seen all the entire Diplomatic Corps here. The community is here for sporting activities, which would also lead to bonding, friendship, and cooperation. And talking of cooperation, you know, Ghana's diplomatic community is one of the most open diplomatic space worldwide. And so the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration does its best always to create an enabling environment for the diplomatic community to thrive. And talking of thriving, it's in the interest of the diplomatic community and the Republic of Ghana to ensure that there is a good relationship to foster unity, working together, deriving ideas together, and cooperating in many, 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 many areas.
Up, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. 9, top, 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 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
It's an event that seeks to foster community spirit and friendships among staff of the ministry and members and families of the diplomatic community through sporting and cultural activities. Le ministère des Affaires étrangères croit vraiment croit à la culture et le pouvoir de la culture à connecter des gens à travers les frontières. And I must say that Ghana is particularly lucky to be home to a diplomatic community who enrich our country's experience by embracing our unique cultures while sharing their country's music, art, food, language, culture and sports with us through various channels. Au travers du sport et d'autres activités culturelles, nous pouvons renforcer des liens qui existent entre nous, des communautés diplomatiques entre nos pays différents. Et nous avons des musiques différentes, nous avons l'art, le langage différent, la culture, le sport. Mais nous avons quelque chose qui nous lie ensemble. C'est notre lien entre nous. Et avec ça, nous pouvons renforcer les liens entre le pays à travers des activités comme le sport et le partage de notre culture. We devote so much in our bilateral engagements, regional and global institutions, but there is a need to engage beyond our sporting rooms where most of our vital work is done and invest in memories that can yield great friendships, partnerships, and kindle a spirit of oneness amongst us.
I am truly delighted to be with you in this amazing day, a day with the diplomatic community, an excellent initiative coming from the ministry because this event brings together staff of the ministry and members of the diplomatic corps, diplomats and their families in sporting and cultural activities, and also let us discover many cuisines from different continents. For sure, this event fosters community spirit, strengthens cooperation and friendships between people and countries. On behalf of the Diplomatic Corps, I extend my gratitude to the esteemed ministry for this significant initiative, hoping that we will keep coordinating and cooperation together to live more and more similar exciting experience in the future.
So the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, its responsibility to make sure that they create an enabling environment for diplomatic discourse when it comes to Ghana and its development partners. Yes, I did a few things though, but the camera didn't capture me. Well, my assistant also did quite a lot, and she ended up with a medal. I felt cheated, but it's okay. You know, we'll talk about this another time. So, right. It's been great coming your way from the Bema Camp Sports Complex with the Diplomatic Corps Fun Day, and it's all about sports diplomacy. So it's been great. Thank you so much for watching, and we will come your way same time, and enjoy the rest of our programs. My name is Harriet Nati.